afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, House lawmakers hold their final hearing into Vice President Sara Duterte's alleged anomalous use of confidential funds. Notre-Dame Cathedral holds its first mass since a catastrophic fire 5 years ago brought it close to collapse. The world's largest gold bar unveiled in Dubai. And the UP Fighting Maroons take Game 1 of the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals. Thanks for joining us. House lawmakers now holding their final hearing into the alleged anomalous use of confidential funds by Vice President Sara Duterte's offices. This comes amid talks of another impeachment complaint against the VP. Zandro Ochona is monitoring the inquiry and he joins us now for an update. Zandro, did lawmakers say anything about the impeachment bids?
Well, they are reserving their comments on the impeachment complaint if they are supporting it or not. Assistant Majority Leader Representative Zia Adyong said he would have to see if all the issues raised in their investigation are included in the two impeachment complaints. Committee Chairman Representative Joel Chua said he has heard of a third possible impeachment complaint and maintained that from the very beginning, there could be grounds to impeach the Vice President. Manila 2nd District Representative Rolando Valeriano, who delivered a privileged speech that prompted the committee investigation, said he is satisfied with the committee for tackling all the issues he raised in his speech.
I have to really see to it that all the evidences, all the matters that were discussed during the Good Government Committee will substantially influence the way I will approach the matter.
Right from the very beginning naman, I am consistent naman na kung merong ground, meron naman talaga. But ang concern ko talaga is yung time element, di ba?
So babasahin ko muna, kahit yung pangatlo kung meron man, basahin ko rin kung talagang meron siyang ground para ma-impeach. Pero as far as yung committee na to is concerned, yung good government, mukhang lahat naman ng nakalaman doon sa privilege speech ko, positive naman. Lumabas naman lahat dito sa confidential pa ng DepEd tsaka ng OBP. So yun lang, nagra-wrap up na kami.
Mai Chua also said they may wrap up their investigation on the confidential funds, but the committee may continue to tackle other issues raised as requested by several members. This also means they may continue their investigation next year. Right now, members are summing up the result of their investigation. Earlier, Chua said 405 out of the 677 names who signed the acknowledgement receipts are non-existent. This came out of their request from the Philippine Statistics Authority, who verified the civil registry of those who signed the acknowledgement receipt, just like what they did to find out if Mary Grace Piatos is indeed real. Mai?
Keep us posted, Zandro. Thank you for that update, Zandro Ochona. While the lower chamber wraps up their inquiry into the VP's confidential funds, they're keeping their hands off on her potential criminal liability for her supposed kill plot against the first couple and the House Speaker. Hannah T. joins us from the Batasang Pambansa for the details. Hannah, go ahead.
The potential criminal liabilities of Vice President Sara Duterte should be handled by the Justice Department. That's according to House leaders. This is after the Vice President's alleged death threats against President Bongbong Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. While the House tackles impeachment complaints against the Vice President, Batangas 1st District Representative Geraldine Roman stressed that the DOJ should address criminal investigations. Tingog Party List Representative Jude Asidre adds the DOJ's review is part of the duties of the executive branch, separate from the political and legislative nature of impeachment proceedings. The two impeachment complaints filed by some civil and religious groups accuse VP Sara of culpable violations of the Constitution, graft, bribery, betrayal of public trust, and high crimes. These include allegations that Duterte issued issued death threats against the country's top leaders. VP Sara previously stated in a press conference that an assassin could target the president, the first lady, and the speaker if she were killed, a remark that has sparked criticism and is now central to the DOJ's investigation. There have been talks of a third impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte, though there is no confirmation yet, but we are on standby in case it will be filed today. Mai?
Hannah, what did the DOJ say about this, and how is their investigation of VP Sara's statements progressing?
The DOJ has not yet released a response to the statements from the House leaders, but they have already launched an investigation into VP Sara's inflammatory or controversial remarks. As part of this, a subpoena was served to her last week by the National Bureau of Investigation. VP Sara requested to reschedule her appearance at the NBI, and it has been moved from November 29 to December 11. According to Justice Undersecretary Jessie Andres, who spoke on BNC's On Point on November 28, the revised penal code states that if VP Sara fails to attend the NBI probe, she could face arrest and criminal liability for defying the subpoena. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you for that report, Hannah T. On to another incident of harassment by China in the West Philippine Sea. In newly released videos by the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, a laser is seen pointed at the BRP Datu Matanam and BRP Datu Tambulot in Hasa-Hasa Shoal. The incident was said to have taken place on December 2 and lasted for 5 minutes. Passengers of the vessel say the laser was painful to the eyes. They were in the area to bring food and gas to fishermen there. Amid China's continuous bullying, authorities have been mulling over sending a warship to the West Philippine Sea. But the Coast Guard has said the decision still lies on the president as commander-in-chief. Syria's deposed President Bashar al-Assad should be held accountable. That statement from U.S. President Joe Biden after rebel fighters overthrew Assad in a stunning end to his 24-year authoritarian rule. Assad fled Damascus over the weekend and reportedly went to Moscow. For Biden, the sudden collapse of the Syrian government is a fundamental act of justice, but he acknowledges this marks another moment of uncertainty for the Middle East. Syria's civil war erupted in 2011 and created space for jihadist militants to plot attacks around the world.
As we all turn to the question of what comes next, the United States will work with our partners and the stakeholders in Syria to help them seize an opportunity to manage the risks. First, we'll support Syria's neighbors, including Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, and Israel, should any threat arise from Syria during this period of transition. I will speak with leaders of the region in the coming days. I had long discussions with all of our people earlier this morning. And I'll send senior officials from my administration to the region as well. Second, we will help ensure stability in eastern Syria, protecting any personnel, our personnel, against any threats, and will remain our mission against ISIS will be maintained, including the security of detention facilities where ISIS fighters are being held as prisoners. We're clear-eyed about the fact that ISIS will try to take advantage of any vacuum to reestablish its capabilities and to create a safe haven. We will not let that happen.
A star-studded event at the White House as President Biden hosts this year's Kennedy Center honorees. Among the guests, singer Bonnie Raitt, legendary rock band The Grateful Dead, award-winning filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola, and The Godfather Robert De Niro.
Fostering talent before they were stars, like previous Kennedy Center honorees who are here tonight. Robert De Niro. Robert, stand up. I'm a big fan, man. I want everybody to see you. If I get in trouble, I'm coming to you, pal. Well, Francis, I'm looking for work in February. So maybe you've got something for me and the Biden-De Niro combination here. I can't sing, I can't act, I can't dance, do a damn thing, but I can help you.
New York City's historic Apollo Theater, which has launched the careers of many famed Black artists, is also among this year's honorees. Over in Paris, the famed Notre-Dame Cathedral reopens after a 5-year restoration. A mass was held Sunday, attended by dignitaries, world leaders, and Parisians basking in the glory of the restored cathedral. On April 15, 2019, the world watched in horror as a fire gutted the iconic landmark. Some 2,000 workers labored to rebuild the cathedral, with donations pouring in from all over the world. More than 800 million euros were spent for the restoration of the Notre-Dame.
Ah oui, oui, on était là quand elle a brûlé, on a pris notre vélo, on était...
Magnificent. The work of all the craftspeople and all the artists added sacredness to something that, for me, is already sacred. So it was very powerful, very beautiful, a very beautiful reunion.
Everyone was really happy. Even on people's faces, we saw smiles that were appearing, even during Christ's peace. It was really, everyone was happy.
The representatives of the 2024 Nobel Peace Prize laureate Nihon Hidankyo now in Oslo ahead of Tuesday's ceremony. The awarding will be held at Oslo City Hall, followed by a banquet at the nearby Grand Hotel. The Japanese grassroots movement won the Nobel Peace Prize for its efforts to achieve a world free of nuclear weapons and for demonstrating that they must never be used again. The organization is composed of atomic bomb survivors from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We're taking a break. Still to come, Dubai unveils the world's largest gold bar. That and more when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Stay with us.
Hello, good morning. I'm Paul Del Rosario and welcome to Weather HQ. Today's headline: Alert level 1 prevails over Taal volcano. In the last 24 hours, 2 volcanic tremors were also recorded. A group passionate with trees is pushing for reforestation and ecological integrity in eastern Visayas.
Anchored talaga in ecology, the need for us to reconnect with nature.
The country hosts this week's 4th meeting of the Board of Fund for Responding to Loss and Damage. Whatever the weather, here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
In the world of business, expansion is inevitable.
So I was a serial dater.
Not just a serial entrepreneur.
Yes.
You need fresh perspectives.
Different perspectives, different capabilities.
The sense of fulfillment, the sense of accomplishment. It's like you gave birth.
The relationships we have, how we treat our people. For me, that is the essence.
I'm Ces Orenia Drilon at ito ang Usapang Bilyonaryo.
This is The Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Rojas.
And I'm Erica Christensen.
Max Verstappen emerged victorious in the chaotic Qatar Grand Prix.
Now that we're here, we're in the finals, I really want to win a championship. I mean, I do hope it happens.
I was just happy to be back on the court. You know, it took a while.
Eventually, I do want to go back again, probably my farewell competition.
The Scorecard, where sports is our business.
And business is our sports. On the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Magandang gabi, ako po si Pinky Webb. At ako naman si Corina Sanchez Rojas. Simulan na natin ang agenda. Posibleng paglabag sa international humanitarian law ng dating Pangulong Duterte, sinisilip na ng DOJ. Super Typhoon Pepito nag-iwan ng matinding pinsala sa ilang mga lalawigan. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin muling bumisita sa Pilipinas. Sa bawat issue, may anggulo at ang balita may agenda.
You're back at Newsfeed at noon. Pump prices seeing mixed movements this week. Gasoline prices will go up by 40 centavos per liter. Meanwhile, kerosene prices will be slashed by 75 centavos per liter. Diesel prices also going down by 50 centavos. The Energy Department says the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah and the decision of some oil-producing countries to extend supply cuts influenced price movements. Just in time for the holiday travel season, a hub for ride-hailing apps is now open at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Let's get more details from Agatha Gregorio, who's monitoring developments there. What can you tell us, Agatha?
Mai, we're seeing plenty of travelers here at NAIA Terminal 3 already taking advantage of the new TNVS hub officially launched yesterday. This is located at level A of the multi-level parking building. Rides from Grab, Joyride, and Angkas will be accommodated here. Numerous super taxis are already parked here, and travelers can opt to use Joyride starting tomorrow. Grab has been operating even before the official launch, offering free Wi-Fi for travelers. They will still need to have the app to book, but there are staff here ready to assist 24/7. For the hub, there are 401 parking slots and 18 dedicated loading bays, meant to lessen the waiting time for the many travelers here daily. Mai?
Agatha, when are the peak hours so far there at the hub?
My travelers may expect longer lines here at the hub around noon until the afternoon. But there are seats here at the waiting area for those peak hours. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you for that report, Agatha Gregorio. Over now to Dubai, where the world's largest pure gold bar has been unveiled. The huge metal weighs over 300 kilograms and is worth around $25 million. It was put on public display this past weekend at the Dubai Gold Souk extension. This groundbreaking achievement by the Emirates Minting Factory further solidifies Dubai's status as a global leader in gold and precious metals. The previous record was a 250-kilogram gold bar in Japan. The Wicked hype definitely reaching new heights. A pair of iconic ruby slippers from the 1939 cult classic, The Wizard of Oz, fetched a record $32.5 million at a Texas auction. Yes, those are the shimmery shoes worn by Dorothy Gale, as played by Judy Garland. The slippers are one of only 4 surviving pairs made for the movie. Its sale is way past the pre-auction estimate of $3 million. The auction also included the Wicked Witch's hat, which sold for $2.9 million. Up ahead, the UP Fighting Maroons take Game 1 of the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals. Sports and entertainment after the break. Welcome back to Newsfeed at noon. The UP Fighting Maroons inch closer to reclaiming the men's basketball title in UAAP Season 87. The Fighting Maroons drew first blood in Game 1 of the finals against defending champs, the De La Salle Green Archers. Final score 73-65. UP now has a virtual twice-to-beat advantage like in Season 86. Game 2 of the best of 3 series is on Wednesday, December 11. Shifting gears now to Formula One, Lando Norris saving the best for last as he leads McLaren to the Constructors' Championship in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. McLaren ended a 26-year championship drought by 14 points. He won 4 races this season for McLaren. It was a bittersweet ending, though, for Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton. The 6-time world champion finished 4th in Abu Dhabi for his final race with the Silver Arrows. Hamilton will race under the Ferrari banner next year. In entertainment news, Miss Universe Asia and the Philippines' very own Chelsea Manalo is finally coming home. Chelsea will arrive in Manila today from Los Angeles. In an Instagram post, she said she is excited to return to the Philippines. This year's Miss Universe pageant was held in Mexico on November 17th. Aside from becoming the first ever Miss Universe Asia, Chelsea also won Best National Costume. Before we go, nearly half a century since its original launch, Toyota's iconic Tamaraw is back, and this time it's designed with the unique needs of the next generation of Filipinos. Our mobility correspondent G. Baroga shares the highlights from its grand launch.
From delivery to service and everything in between, the next generation Toyota Tamaraw is all about versatility and customization. Its return signals Toyota's drive to challenge Mitsubishi's dominance in the commercial vehicle market.
Toyota is a challenger in the commercial area. The competitors like Mitsubishi, they are quite ahead, and we are just a challenger or follower to them. So we do our maximum effort, try our best to catch again the people in this area.
The Tamaraw is Toyota's third locally made vehicle after the Vios and Innova, and is set to boost the Philippine economy.
When we added additional line, we also added additional manpower in our production line. Since this is a vehicle that can be converted into different types, it will also generate trickle-down effects in terms of yung partner bodybuilders, part suppliers, and then of course those customers who will be using that.
Before the big reveal, Toyota got up close and personal with customers through Goyo Kiki activities to see exactly what they wanted in the new Tamaraw. The business community is loving how flexible the Tamaraw is for their needs.
We made sure that the Tamaraw is not only a practical vehicle, but also an aspirational vehicle. Whatever needs you may have for the next generation Tamaraw, they are possible.
Toyota plans to produce at least 1,500 Tamaraw units per month, but is ready to adjust based on demand. The company is confident the Tamaraw will be a game changer for new businesses and help accelerate growth for micro, small, and medium enterprises.
This model is named after the Tamaraw, an animal found only in the Philippines. In doing so, Toyota is strengthening its partnership with the government with a new agreement focused on preserving this endangered species. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Good afternoon.